So, so you were talking about probable cause. There are a lot of people that don't understand at all how court works and why people have to go more than once. Can you, in a relatively brief way, explain what are the basic steps for someone who's committed a misdemeanor? They don't just come to court once and it's over, right?
No, right. So, let's just take a DWI, for example, right? Let's say Jen Hardy gets popped with a DWI, right? So there's evidence in the DWI. For example, there's going to be either a breath test, there'll be a blood test, there'll be field sobriety test, there might be medical records if there was a hospital stay. There might be an accident record if there's a report. There might be a 911 call because someone called 911 on the road to report a drunk driver, for example. That's evidence, right? Evidence is going to point to whose side is correct. There's always two sides to a story, right? So when you go initially into court your first day, you do a hearing to determine, hey, you've been arrested. Have you rightfully or wrongfully been arrested? Is there enough probable cause to go forward? And if there is, right, where's the evidence? Evidence takes time. We don't get it immediately. It takes time to get medical records. It takes time to get body cameras. It takes time to get dash cameras. It takes time, here in Harris County, just to get a 911 tape, it may take 6 months because we're so backed up. I mean, we've 5 million, 4 million people in Harris County. How many people call 911 on a daily basis? So to get evidence takes time. And because of that, you have to do resets on a case. So you may have your initial appearance, you do probable cause, and depending on who's there, they might put conditions on you, and then you go on your merry way. With me and with a lot of us here, we waive appearances because your job is really important. If we forced you, like in the old days, to come to court once a month, a lot of people would lose their jobs because they can't take off that kind of time. So because of that, I waive appearances so you don't lose. I mean, there's no reason for you to come to court if evidence is not there. So we waive appearances, and as long as you can abide by conditions, if there are any, you might not see me until 6 months, 9 months down the road. Well, 6 months because I don't like cases. But it takes time to get evidence. So that's why cases get reset. Other states do it differently, where they might make you come on a monthly basis, but I don't think it's counterproductive to someone's work schedule if they're working.
I agree. No, that's really
So that's why, and then usually with us at least, there's a cap on how old a case will get. It also serves no purpose for a case to get a year or 2 years old. No, because that person may need help now, not a year down the road when they pick up another 4 cases. So that's why we rein it in as far as, how old a case gets. And, we will put pressure on others to get the evidence in a timely fashion.
So after probable cause, then what happens next?
They get reset.
Okay.
And depending on how much evidence is out there, depending on what evidence is out there, will depend on the length of and how many resets you get. Right. Some cases, they're very easy. Some, like a trespass case, for example. You have just a statement from a person. You may have a video, so there might not be that much evidence. But in a DWI or an assault case, you may have more evidence. You may need expert testimony. Right. It takes time to get that. It takes time for. It takes time to build a case, and so that's why the more complicated the case, the more time it takes. That's why you also see in felony cases, for example, the cases typically tend to get older because they're more complex. If you have a vehicular homicide case, right, you might need an accident reconstructionist. That takes time. If you have a murder case, you'll have ballistics, you'll have DNA. So by and large, that's why you see felony cases take quite a bit longer than misdemeanor cases.
I never realized that.